Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new video. I am actually going to be doing something completely different that I haven't done in quite some time, and that is a get ready with me. I'm going to be doing my makeup on camera, which is not something that I typically do. I mean, when I first started my channel a long time ago, I used to do a lot of makeup videos, tutorials, first impressions and all of that. But as you guys know, if you guys have been a follower of mine for about like 3 years around there, you guys would know that I no longer do like makeup videos or anything like that. But I thought that I would come on here and film a quick, I hope it's quick, chit chat get ready with me video. I am basically just going to get ready with you guys. Right here I have all of my makeup. This isn't going to be a tutorial or anything like that by any means, but if you are interested in the products that I'm using today, I will go ahead and link all of them down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out if that is something that you want to know. I've already moisturized and primed my face, and we're just gonna get started. Like I mentioned, I'm not gonna talk about the products or anything, but I wanted to go ahead and make this chit chat get ready with me to kind of tell you guys a really nice thing that happened and kind of update you guys just in case you guys are interested in finding out. If you guys have been watching my channel, then you know that a couple of months ago I finally applied for my citizenship, so for my naturalization. And I hope I don't look too funny here, but I just had my interview, and I just realized I don't have a mirror. Okay. I just had my interview last week. I applied for the naturalization in September or October, I can't really remember, but since then I've had to go get my fingerprints taken, as well as I got a picture taken like about a month or two ago, and since then they went ahead and sent me a letter indicating when my interview would be, and like I mentioned, that was last week. So I am really happy to let you guys know that I am now a citizen. And it's so funny that I'm telling you guys as I am applying foundation that honestly looks kind of lighter than the rest of my body, but that's okay. I don't think I will be going anywhere today, so I think it's okay. It looks like a lot too, so I hope I'm not scaring any one of you guys. Anyways, I wanted to come on here to give you guys the news because I'm so happy about it, and I really wanted to kind of let you guys all know and make a separate video of it. I would have wanted to film a whole get ready with me for the day of my actual interview, just so that I could let you guys in on like what I was studying and how I got ready for the interview, just in case somebody out there is looking for content like that, and kind of to let you guys in on what I wore and all of that. But I just honestly did not have time that day, and I was really stressed out. I was stressed out all of the week prior to that, especially because I had just gotten back from a trip to Catalina Island. So honestly, the last thing on my mind was to make a video, which is the reason why I didn't end up doing so. But that's why I'm here. You know, I'm here to get ready with you guys and let you in on how that went, the results, and the good news. I also wanted to, I guess, go a little bit more into detail as to my life here in the US as an immigrant. If you guys don't know, I was not born here, of course. I know a lot of you guys know because I always mention that I'm Peruvian, but I was actually not born here. I came here in 3rd grade when I was about 9 years old. So 9 years of my life were spent in Peru, which is where I'm from. And I kind of just want to reflect a little bit on my life, because there's been a lot of things that have happened in order for me to be here, letting you guys know, of course, that I'm a citizen and everything. And I just want to, I guess, reflect on it, talk about it, because I feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of immigrants, don't ever talk about that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that I know that's an immigrant talk about like their life and how it's been. And honestly, I feel like I've had a lot of opportunities in this country, which is the main reason why I, wanted to be a citizen. And I've lived here for more years than I've lived in Peru. And to be honest, for a lot of my life, I always thought that I would go back to Peru. So I guess I'll go ahead and start from the beginning, from the day that I got here, which was initially my mom was the first one to come here, and she had been here I think for over a year before my sister and I came over. And of course she was working, making sure that she could send us money back in Peru. And I always look up to my mom so much, just because she was the one who took that initiative to move to a whole new country with a whole different language, just to be able to raise us a little better, and just for the opportunities that this country had. So I've always looked up to my mom so much for that. And of course she is the one that I am the most thankful for, everything that I have, down to my business, Romina Rosa. So I'm not sure if my mom's gonna be watching this video, but my mom came here prior to my sister Ivana and I. And I remember coming here once before we actually stayed. And I think it was just so that I could, see where my mom was living. And I was very small. I think I was like 7 or even 6 maybe the first time that I came here. And I don't think I realized where I was. All I knew was that I had to get on a plane, come here, and I got to see my mom, which I hadn't seen in a few months. So it was really exciting for me to come here for the first time. I think she also took us to Disneyland. She took us to a bunch of places. She always bought us everything that she could. And wow, I hope I'm not crying throughout this whole video, but anyways, so my mom immigrated here, I want to say in 2002. The year that we came was 2003. So I think we came during the holiday season, and we spent Christmas with my mom. Now, that was a time prior to the time that we came to stay, just because my mom wanted to make sure that we had a room to stay at. She was living with her boyfriend at that time, and so he had an apartment that he would rent with a roommate. So my mom wanted to make sure that we would be able to, have our own room. And I honestly have such bad memories, so I don't remember much about like my early childhood. But what I do remember is how much I missed my mom. I missed my mom so much, and I felt like I didn't have like my parents with me, which sounds like so sad, but I do now realize the reasons why my mom did that and why she immigrated here. And once again, like, I'm so thankful and I admire her strength to be able to pull that off by herself. Like, my mom is literally a queen. Anyways, fast forward to 2005. That is the year that I came here with my sister to stay. And we came, I'm not sure if I came with my grandma and my grandpa, but me, my sister, my grandma, and grandpa were so close. Like, it was always the 4 of us when my mom was here. And so I've always thought of my grandma and my grandpa as another set of parents for me. Honestly, growing up, I do remember all of my uncles, so both of my uncles and my aunt, so my mom's siblings, I felt like they were all my dad's and my mom's. Like I felt like we were all so close together in Peru, which is why when living here at some point, I really thought that I would go back to Peru and just live with my family. And you know what? Sometimes I feel like I would love to do that. I would love to just go back to Peru. And that sounds a little crazy, but I feel like sometimes I miss my family so much. And I guess I'll say this, I feel like I have missed so much of their lives and they have kind of missed so much of mine that I just want to say, you know, F it, I'm going back to Peru. Just went ahead and cleaned up my eyebrows, but I'm back. I think I left off in the part where I came here from Peru. So the day that I got here, I believe was April 16th, 2005. I know for sure it was 2005 and it was in April. I could be wrong about the date, but it was a couple of days before my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday is on April 20th. And when I got here, things are very different, of course, in Peru and here, especially with school. So when I got here, if you know, April means kind of the end of the school year. So with that being said, in Peru, school year starts, I'm sorry if I'm putting away too much, starts in March, March. So I had just started 3rd grade in Peru. So it was definitely interesting how they determined which grade I was going to be at. Of course, they do it based off your age, but no, sorry, I had started 4th grade in Peru. And yeah, so I had started 4th grade in Peru and my sister had started 6th grade. And it was really interesting because I ended up, if you guys are in like the LA area or anything like that, I was in the LA Unified School District. I was going to an elementary school called Tolan Way. And honestly, I loved my middle school. I was bullied in middle school by a classmate, which I will go a little bit into detail in a second. But the way they determined which grade I was going to take was mainly by the fact that the 3rd grade and under, so I believe kinder, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd years of this particular school in the LA Unified School District were teaching bilingual classes. So my sister was put into 6th grade because the bilingual classes stopped in 3rd grade. And I was put into 3rd grade. So I could have either gone to 4th grade or 3rd grade, but my mom decided that it would be easier for me to start in a grade where they had bilingual classes and where they would be talking to me in Spanish and where all the other kids in that class spoke Spanish. So I am so thankful for those bilingual classes, and I wish that they would offer those type of classes in every other school district, but unfortunately they don't. But I really wish that they would, because I feel like that class was a stepping stone to me learning English and feeling comfortable with other people and whatnot. So I think I'm just gonna go for something really, really simple. So I was in that class and I think I was bullied by the girl that sat next to me. So it was so funny. She pretended to be my friend for a little bit, but she was so rude. Like, she was the rudest person I have ever met. She was mean. I think, honestly, I don't like to really say this because who knows, maybe she was going through some things, but I honestly just think that she was jealous of me because the way that everyone, I feel like she was jealous of the way that everyone wanted to be my friend in that class, even though like I did not speak an ounce of English. Everybody was really nice in that class and tried to talk to me, make conversation, talk about like my school supplies, all of that. And I remember that in 3rd grade, which is I think like a little incident that I've mentioned on my Instagram story, that in 3rd grade, this bully, my friend who was a bully in reality, she made fun of the way that I said sharpener in Spanish, which if you don't know Spanish, you may know it as sacapuntas, right? Which is, I think, the way they say it in Mexico, although there's plenty of ways. If you go all around Latin America, then you know that there's plenty of ways to say sharpener in Spanish. And the way that I say it, the way that we say it in Peru, it might be, you know, another way of saying it, but the way that I said it and the word that she made fun of me for was tajador. Not a lot of people say that, but you know, as a child, you don't know this. You don't know that, especially as an immigrant from a country other than Mexico, which is where most of the kids in my class were from. I just didn't know this. So I said tajador and she just started laughing and made fun of the way that I said it and made sure that everyone else heard that the way that I said it was not it, because nobody, of course, in that class said it the way that I say it because we were from different countries. But that is, I think, something that definitely stuck with me and that I just laugh at now because it's so funny how she thought that she was so smart by making fun of me, even though she lacked the knowledge that people from different countries say things differently. And she took it as a joke and she made it a joke when it really wasn't. It's actually something that's, I think, so cool to me that people say things differently, especially because you would think that all Spanish is the same, but there's some words here and there that are completely different in different countries, different parts of a country and stuff like that. So just wanted to mention that's one of the first things that I was shook about when I came here. Another main thing that I want to talk about really quick and shine light on is that in Latin American countries, you go by your two first names, so like your first name and your middle name, and then you also go by your two last names, so your paternal and maternal last name. So my full name is Romina Deborah Vázquez Escudero, and here in the States you only go by your first, sometimes middle, and your last name. So you don't ever hear other people talking about like your maternal last name, but in Latin American countries that is like your full name. So your full name is your four names. And so it's crazy because I didn't realize this up until I was an actual Spanish major at my university, where I would notice that other people had both of their first names and their last names. So they had four names. The professors would do the roll call. So that was when I realized, and I thought back of the moment when my mom registered me and my sister for classes the first time at Tolan Way. And I remember, I think we went with a neighbor or somebody who already had her kid in that school. And of course, she was very Americanized, and so she was like, oh no, you don't use your second last name here, so don't put it. You don't have to put it. So I think my mom didn't end up putting our second last name, which is my favorite, Escudero. And that, of course, stuck with me my whole life. I was never using my second last name, even though it's the one that I love. And that, I guess, took a part of me and my culture away without me knowing, which is something that I analyzed very much when I was in college. We did a lot of analyzing, like texts and things like that. So that, I think, was very eye-opening to me, to the fact that a piece of me was already taken away before I even knew it, a piece of my culture. So that is something that I wanted to mention just because I thought, hey, why not? That was crazy to me when I, started going to college, when I went to college and was taking classes with other Spanish majors. I think I'm going to quickly do my eyeliner because there's no way I can do that on camera while talking. So I'm just putting a little bit here. I finished my eyeliner. I'm going to do my lashes now. While I talk about the fact that I think I came at the perfect time, because I feel like for my sister it was a lot more difficult to learn English because she, one, was not in a class where everyone spoke Spanish when she started class here in 6th grade, as well as right after that, I believe in 7th grade, she was put in ELD classes with people who basically only spoke Spanish, so not people that knew English, and so they all ended up just speaking Spanish to each other. So I, once again, definitely think that those bilingual classes were very beneficial in the way of how fast I learn English, because I was, by 4th grade, so a couple of months after, already understanding what everyone was saying. I wasn't speaking it like 100%, by no means, in 4th grade, but by 5th grade I was already speaking it. I was talking to people as regularly as possible, and once again, I think that just has to do with the fact that I was put in those bilingual classes. So shout out to Los Angeles Unified School District, because I absolutely love those classes. And it's so funny, I actually just found a couple of friends from that class on Instagram, and I mean, I haven't talked to them or anything, but I think that was like so cool for me to find people from like elementary school and all that. So as the years went by, I definitely got bullied more times, but it didn't come to the fact of me not speaking English. I will say that I will never, and I hope that you guys never teach your kids to make fun of somebody just because they don't speak the same as them, whether that be languages, certain words, their accents, or anything like that, because I was definitely bullied in the past because of all three, and it definitely doesn't feel good. So that is something that my future kids will know that is wrong to do. But aside from that, I have really fond memories of Tolanway Elementary. I sometimes almost wish I was a kid again so I can go back, because just being a kid is so much more simple, of course, as being an adult. And I don't know, sometimes I want to connect with people from elementary school. How cool would that be? Back after putting lashes on, I just wanted to give you guys a make this get ready with me video, just to let you guys in on, I guess, the struggles of immigrants from my perspective. Of course, I didn't come here as an adult. My first experiences here were not working or anything like that. They were mostly in school. But I have so much respect for adults who come here to work and send money back to their country, because those immigrants that do that are the ones that are doing the toughest jobs that nobody would ever do or would want to do, and I can guarantee you that. I just wanted to give my perspective and to, of course, give you guys the news that I did receive my citizenship. So I guess I'll go ahead and lastly, before I like end things, although I actually still have like the rest of my face to do, and I might just come back once my hair is done too at the end. I wanted to tell you guys the instance where I did not feel part of this country. And some of you guys might think like, oh, it was when there was an election and you couldn't vote. And that actually was not it. The moment where I felt that I didn't belong in this country, and that sounds so sad, but it's the truth. It wasn't that I just didn't feel like I belonged here. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. And that instance was when I had gone to Peru, and of course, since I am a resident here, not a citizen, I do not have a US passport. So I have a Peruvian passport. So when I got there, everything was great, whatever, right? I'm Peruvian, I'm part of them. But when I came back from Peru, and I don't think you guys have noticed this if you guys are citizens all that much, but if you're a citizen, you will go in a different line than the rest of the people, no matter if you're a resident of the United States or if you're just a tourist or anything like that. So I, of course, since I wasn't a US citizen, and I think this was back for my trip in 2018, I want to say, or maybe it was before that, I'm not 100% sure, but I know for sure that I was already in college and I had already been analyzing a lot of my life by then. So, well, I was in the line, and throughout that whole time that I was in Peru, I realized that I didn't belong in Peru because I didn't know like the lingo, and a lot of the words that they would say over there, the slang, all of that. And because I had only lived there for 9 years of my life, and so much time had passed since then that I no longer knew Peru like that, if that makes sense. So a part of me knew that I didn't belong in Peru, but the other part of me knew that I didn't belong here either in the US, because I wasn't a citizen. I wasn't part of that citizen line, but rather with the rest of the crowd. So I think that was a very like pivotal moment for me. The moment that I was just like, I feel like I don't belong anywhere. And I feel like I can make like a whole book surrounding that moment of my life, which sounds funny to some of you guys probably, but I honestly feel like I can write a whole book about just centered on the fact of not belonging and like my life as an immigrant here. So yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So since then, I have not traveled anywhere, so I have not felt like that again. And of course, with COVID and everything, I haven't gone back to Peru. So now that I'm a citizen, I can get a US passport, which is what I'm planning on doing later this month. And I mean, hopefully I won't feel like that anymore. I don't know. It was just, like I mentioned, a very pivotal moment in my life, or it was just like an aha moment when that happened to me. And like that experience is engraved in my head. And of course, it's not going to matter to anyone else but me. But I hope that gave you guys a little bit of an insight as to how so much of my life has felt in this country. And you know, I'm very thankful about the opportunities, and I'm not dismissing those, because I feel like I had a lot of opportunities thanks to being in this country. But I also think that there's a lot of opportunities that I missed just because I wasn't a citizen or I wasn't born here. And I think that's something that people overlook or people don't realize unless you're an immigrant. Okay, so I am back. I finished my blush. I did my hair really quick because I am actually going to go out somewhere. So I'm just gonna finish with highlight and just, I guess, recapping this whole video. I just wanted to say thank you so much if you stayed until the end of this video, because I know that this is probably not what you guys subscribed for, but I really appreciate you listening to my whole story. And of course, I did not go into detail about every single part of my life. So if you guys have any questions, well, first let me know if you enjoyed like the get ready with me, doing my makeup on camera and kind of chit-chatting with you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this by giving this video a thumbs up so that I know, as well as comment down below. Let me know how you felt about it. I will go ahead and do another one of these if you guys are really into it. So if you have any questions, whether it be for a future get ready with me or just for a regular Q&A, go ahead and let me know. So if you want to know something specific about me, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions for you guys. Lastly, I'm just going to line my lips, put my lipstick on, and I am all ready to go. I like to overline my lips a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but this is probably my favorite lip liner. I know I haven't really talked about the makeup at all, but this is Cork by MAC. It's so good. Okay. And then lastly, I think I'm just going to add some lip gloss. Also, I'm sorry if you guys can hear like background noise. I feel like my neighbors here are watching a movie or something. and that's gonna be the look. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to everyone once again for watching. I really appreciate all of the support that you guys give me all the time. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up once again, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already, and hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.